Yeah. Hello, guys. Thank
Hey,
you for
good
coming
morning.
in. Uh, Thank you for coming in. My Alabama Farm Life, that's Kathleen, and Grow Big TV, that's Joe. So I
Hey,
was
good
just
morning.
watching Literature and More with Kathleen, and she was talking about the volume on your videos, and I realized my volume's really loud, so I actually took down Monday's video, lowered the volume, and re-put it out. So I'm gonna have to type all my stuff back in there. But anyway, so Kathleen, if you can still hear me on Monday when the video comes out for this channel, let me know if the volume is better.
I'm going to mute because my
Because
dog.
I wasn't really paying attention to that. So, oops. And if you guys have a community tab, if you would share out on the community tab so we
Yeah,
could get
I'll
more
go
folks
right
in,
now.
that would be helpful. And welcome in, Samantha Stewart. How are you?
Hey, good morning, Samantha. How are you?
Okay.
Yeah, when I was listening to Kathleen, I went to go check my phone to see if I could find any of the music under the studio, and I was not able to either.
I know where it's at in there. It's just easier for me to download videos off my phone. Doing it off the computer is more difficult for me. That's why when I download my husband's devotion videos, that's why they don't have an intro or an extra, because I'm doing it on YouTube Studio and I'm not very good at doing stuff on there. I'm not used to it.
Oh,
So, yeah.
I better stream this to my audience, huh?
You haven't started doing that yet?
No,
Yeah,
I'll be
that would
right
be
back.
okay. Yeah, she's going to be typing in her title and everything. When you go into someone's Go Live with Me, you have to type in your title and all your stuff. So it takes a few minutes. Like when you very first go in to someone's live, they're talking to you, and you can't really pay full attention because you're typing and you're making your title. You have to do
Right.
it right there at that point. You can't do it ahead of time. So yeah, there's
There, I
that.
got it. I got it done.
But yeah, anybody who's a moderator can put up links for anyone who's in here. You can also put in a link for Life with the Piedmont Homestead in case any of you guys are not connected with her.
Thank you.
And if I have a moderator in here, will you guys put up the link for Cynthia's Crafts and More? Cynthia's Crafts and More.
Hey, 49 Butler family. Welcome in.
Hello, 49 More. That's Jerry. Butler Family Farm. That's Susan and Jerry. Welcome
Yeah.
in. Thank you for agreeing to do an interview with me, Butler Family Farm. I'm excited about that.
That's awesome.
I was figuring we could talk about gardening, and I've never interviewed you guys too, so we can kind of go back and forth between interviewing and some gardening talk. I didn't realize how knowledgeable you are on gardening, so I was like, oh, that's really cool. Hello, Blue Self-Reliance. Welcome in.
Hey, Blue. Good to have you here, hon.
Thank you, Kathleen. Yes, Cynthia gave a donation about 2 days ago for the ministry. So I wanted to be sure to put her channel link up so you guys can go support her since she's such a sweet, supportive lady.
I saw yesterday somebody gave a $200 donation to your
Yeah,
ministry.
that was my brother, Cody.
Oh, okay. Well, it
Yeah.
doesn't matter. That was awesome.
We bought $200 worth of stuff on Amazon. That's what we're going to spend
That's awesome.
for our toiletries, and then $100 from Cynthia is going to go toward food for for April we're going to go do the street people, and we usually do 6 bags each for that.
Okay.
But when we go to the Salvation Army, we're talking 35 to 40 people. So I'm going to need quite a bit of food for that. So I'm going to use that $100 for food, and I'm going to buy like canned chicken, canned tuna, Vienna sausages, soup, ramen, crackers, little snack things, stuff they can eat or just heat up. And we usually do give them bowls because They told us that the convenience stores will let them go in and heat up food in their microwaves. So I didn't know
I
that.
think that's nice.
Me.
I think
Yeah,
that's
that was
nice.
really sweet. I'm sure there's only certain ones that do that, but that's really cool.
Now, is there like a shelter nearby that where they go and sleep, or they
There's a
have?
shelter. There's one shelter in Abilene. It's a town of about 120, 130,000 people, and they're allowed to stay in there for about a month, and then they're done. And then
Okay.
I don't know the details, but I think they may have to wait a certain amount of time before they're eligible to stay again. So it's not
Usually it's a 30-day or 90-day. They have to wait.
right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Something
So
like that. Well, because the reason I was asking, I was going to say something to you.
I haven't gone in
Yeah.
and asked the people. I haven't gone in and asked the people details. Most of the information we have just came from the actual homeless people that are standing outside, and they've never come out and said, "Go away. We don't want you giving them stuff," or anything like that. We haven't said anything, and they don't say anything. It's funny. We'll hand out a couple of bags, and then they'll start piling out the door. And
That's
then before
awesome.
you know it, we're overwhelmed. And that's how we end up not doing pictures and video, because they come out and there's so many of them at one time. So really, when we go to the Salvation Army, it's really better if we have that third person to help us.
Yeah.
We have a volunteer. Her name is Charlotte. Welcome in. Mona did what?
Hey, Mona.
So
have you ever thought about, and maybe this is not something that you can do, I don't know. Have you ever thought about like making lunches and stuff or breakfast and taking it to them?
we have done lunch sacks before.
Okay. I was just wondering.
We did we made up like hot dogs.
Yeah.
We made up like 2 hot dogs each, and we had little things of condiments there and a bag of chips and some cookies. And then, of course, we always have the cooler. So we did that, and we got those aluminum foil things like what you get at Dollar Tree that are already put out, and they're the perfect size to do 2 hot dogs. And we made up sack lunches. So we have done that before.
Oh, that's wonderful, Gail.
We don't do that every time, but sometimes we do.
That's nice. That's so nice.
Probably when we do that, we're probably going to do it more for the street people, because that's a smaller group. And when I say street people, they're not staying in the shelter. They're just literally walking around town, and we find them walking down the streets with backpacks and bedrolls. Sometimes they'll have the bicycle with the wagon, the typical shopping cart, granny cart.
Yeah.
They have very creative ways of getting all that on them. I don't know how they do it, but hello, Milk and Honey Heritage.
It's their life,
Yeah. And we've come really accustomed to picking them out of a group, and picking them out. Sometimes if we walk up to them and they're sleeping, we'll just lay the bag down and walk away, because we don't want to wake them up or scare them or anything. We figure when they wake up, they'll have a little surprise.
Yeah, exactly. And it's nice that they allow you to do that, and they're not rude about it. Do you know what I mean? Like, they're accepting of it. Because some people that are homeless can be very, very rude.
Yeah.
And don't want any help.
Whenever we have been turned down, usually pretty politely. Occasionally they actually are homeless, but they just don't want help. Maybe they get a check, but they just can't afford to.
Right.
They just can't afford to rent a place, but they do get a check from the government or something for something.
Right. I remember one time when our washer and that broke down. I used to go to the laundromat and wash the clothes. And there was a homeless lady, and we all knew she was homeless, but somehow she was able to come in, and several of us offered to pay for her wash. And she was the rudest person to us. She wouldn't hear of it. And I didn't take it personally. It's almost as if you understood, like, if this is the smallest thing that she can provide for herself right now, then she's going to do it.
Yeah. As long as I've noticed, as long as you don't use the word homeless to them, they're fine.
Right, right,
But if you walk up, and I did this in the beginning, but I don't do it anymore, and ask them if they're homeless, they might get mad. But if you just walk up to them and say, "Hey, would you like a goodie bag or would you like a food bag?" Then they can answer you yes or no. And sometimes
right,
they do say no.
right,
Maybe, and this we do. Sometimes we don't know if they're homeless, but we're
right.
guessing. We're looking for the backpack, the bedroll,
Yeah,
the dark tan skin, kind of dirty clothes,
yeah.
stuff like that. So we're looking for them, and we
Did
love those people with the street signs because they're pretty much telling us they're homeless. You know
it
what I
is?
mean?
It's blue. Yeah, you're right,
For
blue.
sure.
See, um, we have now I hate to admit it, but I'm going to. Last week, I think it was last week, I was going into Aldi, and there was this lady again, um, with this sign, but we know that she's not homeless. Like she's yeah, it's almost, she goes from all over the area. I was like, well, how do you get out here? Like, because I'm pretty
Yeah.
far from, you know what I mean? And we've learned, and it's been said that, just pay attention because she can get aggressive and I felt bad. Like I felt bad, but yeah, it's hard to make that decision, right? When,
Yeah. This is the way I look at that because I've had that addressed to me already. Um, if I have a bag with me of food, I will give it to them.
yeah, yeah,
Occasionally I have given them money because I don't have a food bag.
right.
And they're like, "Well, what if they go do something bad with it?" I
You,
said, "I gave with a good heart. What
that's
they
right.
do with it is on them. I'm
Right.
trying to be the hands and feet of God. And if God is asking me to bless them, I'm going to follow what he says." And
Yeah.
so if that person is needing something bad enough to hold the sign and ask, I'm going to give it to them. That bag of food is for someone in need.
Yeah.
Yes, we want it to go to homeless people, but if they're not homeless, they're just poor. They just lost their husband, lost their job, or they lost their
Right.
job, or they had a fight and got kicked out of a house, or whatever. We want to provide for that need because that is, somebody's family member in need. And um, I'm pretty sure, a lot of them don't really want to be in that situation.
Yeah. Oh, no, I know. I used to volunteer at one of our shelters for steps. So, yeah.
Everybody, there's a lot of that they're self-proclaimed homeless. No, they've had a fight with their daughter, their mother died, they lost a
Yeah.
job.
Yeah.
Um,
When I worked our food bank,
disability.
at our church, I think I've said this, I'm not sure, but not that they were homeless, but you didn't know. I never asked. You just know there was a need, right? There was a need. And it didn't matter if they drove up in a Mercedes or they walked because they didn't have a form of transportation. They came because they needed to feed their family. And it was such a great honor to be able to do that because you really got to know the people in their heart and had an opportunity to pray with the people and just be that, like you said, the hands and feet of God, right?
Right.
So
Definitely. It's a blessing to me
it is.
to be able to help them, to see their smiles and have them shake your hand or hug you or
Right.
say thank you, or their face light up because they know that they're going to get to eat today. And
Yeah.
we try to put, we try to always put some kind of protein in there, something starchy like crackers
Sure.
they can eat right then. We try to put all pull tops so we don't have to deal with can openers or whether they have one or not. And we provide them with plastic silverware and
Hey, Garden
bowls and
State.
cups when we can afford it, we do that. Just anything to try to help them.
Yeah.
And a lot of used backpacks have been donated. And I do use those. We even use used socks. I just wash them real good and give them back to them because those socks are better than what they have.
Oh, I'm sure.
So we do actually provide socks to them.
Hey, Garden State so-and-so. Nope, you don't.
Yeah. Yes. Hello, Robin. How are you? Welcome in. Yeah. I'm sure I would have liked to be well, I don't know if I say it, but I don't know if I really mean it. I would have liked to seen a little bit of what my sister's life was like. When I first found out she passed away, I watched a bunch of YouTube videos about homeless people so I could learn what kinds of things do they need. You know, when we started our ministry, you know, about a month and a half after she passed away.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to know, what are they dealing with? What do they need? You know, we'd love to be able to go give them a tent if they had somewhere to set it up, but they're trying to pretty much make it illegal to be homeless. Well,
I mean, that's all. I don't know how you can make it illegal. I mean,
poverty is not something you can always get out of. If you've not taken a bath for 4 months, how are you going to go to a job interview and get a job if your clothes are tattered and worn and holey and all that? How are you going to get a job if you've not taken a bath, your clothes aren't good, you don't have an address? I mean, how are you going to do all that? We
yeah,
don't try to solve their problems. We pray with them. We give them what we came to give them. We don't give them rides. We don't go in camps. We just drive around on the streets in public in the daylight and hand them bags.
Yeah. Hey, everybody, if you would do us a favor and whatever channel you're watching on, mine or Gail's, can you share this out and then give a thumbs up on the channels? That really helps us out. So it depends on where you live. I know in like Chicago, they do have tents. In California, there's tents. So I don't know how you can make it illegal. It's sad because our homelessness has increased so much.
Mm-hmm.
We won't get there. We won't talk about reasons why and stuff like that. But there are issues on why a lot of people are becoming homeless and that are homeless right now.
Mm-hmm. And
thank you.
I believe in the Bible. And it says in the Bible, you're supposed to take care of your parents. You're supposed to take care of widows and orphans. You're supposed to take care of even strangers. The least of these, that's the homeless people. People are looking down on them. But if you knew that was my sister Gretchen standing on the corner with the sign, would you refuse to hand her $10?
Right. I've done it myself.
With you. Think about it. That is somebody's mother, daughter, sister, brother. You know,
I've done that, and I've done the whole go get them food and bring back to them if they're still there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I've done that too.
Oh, I bet there is, Heather. I bet there's a ton of tents up in Oregon.
Yeah. We don't feel safe enough to go into the camps because people thought we were going into the camps. We don't feel safe enough to do that.
And I don't blame you on that.
We just drive up and down the streets in the daytime. Now, we did have a lady come up to us in Walmart at night with her child, but it was a lady and a child. And we did give them food bags, toiletries, blankets, and all. We gave them everything we had in the car. We gave her some of that and enough for her and her son.
Right. So, you know, Heather, I think you said that perfectly fine. That goes on to a borderline of a conversation that this channel is not about. And we should be taking care of our people. You're right. I mean, I know your mother or your father may be ornery, but it is right there in the Bible that you're supposed to take care of them anyway. Supposed to honor them, honor your mother and father.
And you will live a long life. And if you do not honor your mother and father, you're sentenced to death, pretty much.
It's sad to see. It's just sad to see.
We don't. I have no aspirations to go into the camps. I have no aspirations. If I had my brother
Hey, our treasured home.
and my husband, and one of them was carrying, I might consider it.
Exactly. Right.
And we would have to say a prayer holding hands before we walked in there. But otherwise, no.
It's probably, here's what I'm going to say. It's probably not as bad as we may think it is until the nighttime. I think in the evening time, it just, people are up to no good during the dark because it's harder to see them, right? What's the Bible say? The thief comes during the night, so.
Yeah, it's very sad to think that the homeless people are stealing from each other.
Right.
People who don't have enough are stealing from someone also who doesn't have enough. Can you imagine? Everything you have is in a couple of bags and somebody takes them while you're sleeping at night. I mean, that's why they sleep with their shoes like this, because people come and try to take
Right.
your stuff in the middle of the
Right.
night. Can you imagine trying to find a place to sleep every night, or when it's cold or icy or rainy or snowy or hot? Can you imagine sleeping hot every night, getting bitten up by bugs? Hello, Nancy, our treasured home. Welcome in. Thank you for putting up links, Kathleen. Grow Big TV and Gardner, welcome in.
No, I understand that, Kathleen. I know there were areas when I was doing my cakes for kids that, you were kind of like, do I go there? But there's a cake for this person, and it was kind of sketch. You know what I mean?
What were you saying? I missed it.
Like, because Kathleen was just saying, as an ex-police dispatcher speaking woman, unless escorted into never going to the camps. And I remember when I did my cakes for kids, there were some areas where I had to drop off cakes to a family, which I was fine with. But when you got in, you didn't know where they were at till you got into that area, and you just kind of like, please, Lord, be with me and keep me safe.
I've never done it. I'm really curious. I would like to see it, but like I say, I'd have to be with my brother and my husband.
Sure, absolutely.
And before I would go, and they would have to, one of them be carrying.
Yeah,
and
you'd have to.
That conceal or non-concealed, either way. In Texas, you can do that. So,
Kathleen, do you think that it is a better place during the daytime because people are more awake versus sleeping? And I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I'm just curious to know what anybody's thoughts would be on that. Not that I want you to go in, Gail, by all means, don't.
Well, no, I really, there's a lot of videos. I mean, your curiosity can be met
Sure.
by watching the videos. And on my videos for this channel, I like to hashtag homeless in Texas and homeless in Colorado, because my sister passed away in Colorado, but the people we service are in Texas.
Right.
In case we could find someone near us that we could maybe go during the day and drop something off to them. At some point, maybe a homeless person who has a phone could maybe find us. And they have found me before when I was doing it on my other channel before I moved it over and had a separate channel. Homeless people have found me. Now, they were too far away to help them with anything, but I have been hashtagging at that for a while.
Okay. That's good to know.
Yeah.
Hi, Mona. It's very overcut.
Sewing channel.
Huh?
Mona did what is an awesome sewing channel.
Oh, awesome. We have a lot of people that want to learn how to sew. Remember, we asked that on Tuesday, a skill.
Yes.
And sewing was really popular.
Yeah, it was. I think that's why her videos do so well.
Yeah.
I was looking at the views on some of her videos, and Mona Did What is doing really well. Well, she's a member on Gail's Southern Living. So I was looking through her videos to figure out which video to share, because I try to share out my members. I'm trying to share them out at least once a week.
You're very kind.
And Also, I try to go in and watch a video and add a couple more in the watch later list to support my members. So,
Okay.
yeah, I am very curious. I would like to. I would like to see it in the middle of the day, escorted by at least 2 men. But
Right. Right.
but I would go
Yeah.
in with the full armor of God, because God can protect me, and I'm not silly enough to be going in there by myself or at night or anything crazy like that.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I know. I'm trying to think. So many people wanted to learn how to sew. We should send them over to Mona.
Yeah.
Mona, what does Mona sew? Does she sew clothes or does she do quilting? Do you know?
She can do everything, but most recently I saw her doing some like patchworks,
Okay.
quilts,
Yeah.
patchwork
Yeah.
squares, everything. It seems like she's done baby blankets and aprons and all kinds of stuff.
Okay. A little of everything. Okay.
Yeah, a little of everything. She's really good. I would consider
Yeah.
her. I would consider.
I told my mom, I'm like, you should really start a YouTube channel, Mom.
She does.
She's self-taught. You should see her quilts and the sweaters and the needlework that she's done. And she's so self-taught. And she's like, I wouldn't know what to do. I'm like, Mom,
Yeah.
she taught quilting and all that for years in the adult education.
Yeah.
So
Mona said a little bit of everything, and Free Handling Maid, which is my sister-in-law, said she does quilting. So there you go.
that's your sister-in-law, Free Handling. She has a channel.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Free Handling Maid AU. She does.
I'm gonna write that down. I'll go over and
She does mostly crochet.
okay.
Some homesteading stuff, a little bit of gardening she's done. She does some autism awareness stuff. She does quite a bit of different things on her channel. I think she's even done some cooking.
Okay, I'm gonna go look her up. You're gonna have a new friend here. Free Handling Maid.
Free Handling Maid AU. Yep, that's my
Yeah.
sister-in-law. So, yep. I was on YouTube, and when I told her about my YouTube channel, she said, "Oh, I have one that's just been sitting there for a while." And I said,
What?
"You should just start." She also repairs Cabbage Patch dolls.
Okay.
That's where she started, actually.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So
That's
yeah,
awesome.
if you go back a ways, and she has it all in playlist.
All right. I'll go watch, give her some watch hours. If she's not monetized, help her out.
Yeah, she is monetized. She just got monetized.
Oh, awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's really good. She got really good really quick, I think. I haven't been able to pick up on crochet yet.
Really? I find it easier than knitting. My mom taught me both.
I feel like I need someone, with me. There's some things I can't learn from YouTube. Okay. It's not like gardening where I can Google what to do with fish emulsion and a million things come up and I just watch the videos and just pour it to that or read the directions on the thing. But it's not the same. I can't see the details of how they're flipping their fingers, and I don't know. I tried. Anyway, I might get back to it. We'll see.
You should try it. Pick it up again.
I did learn how to make those stitch markers that they use because I started following a lot of crocheting channels because that's what my sister-in-law's community was, part of her community. So I started making stitch markers just to give away.
Oh, no. I remember. Why do I know that?
I think I made a video on it one time.
Yeah, I was going to say, why do I know that? That sounds familiar.
Yeah, I do. I learned that around the same time, and I picked up on that a little bit easier. I'd never really dealt with tools very much either. But my stepdaughter had done some jewelry making. She sat with me about 3 times, and then I started doing them myself. So I do make some pretty handy stitch markers.
That's awesome.
Like that. And I do still want to do jewelry. Maybe I'll try again on the jewelry.
You should try jewelry.
I am better with tools. I haven't quite picked up on sewing or crocheting or things like that. But
it's such
I'm constantly trying things all the time, though.
part of it is such a lost art. For those of you who quilt and stuff, the long arms of quilting have come and taken over the quilting world, which is basically, it's, you kind of control this long arm, or you can set it. But like my mom, she does everything by hand. So
That's awesome.
When I think of like the crafts, the quilting and everything, there's an art that is missing. I mean, anybody can go program a machine and plug it in and let it do its thing, right? But to sit down and actually hand quilt and hand piece things together is an art that there's going to be a generation that probably won't even understand that.
I have kind of the basic concept of sewing. I could sew something together that would stay, but it just might not look beautiful. I mean, I get the concept, but yeah.
So, I mean, I know how. I know how to sew skirts. I don't sew my dresses. Somebody does, but this part of my dress is called a cape. I can't figure out how to do that part. And it's not difficult, but my brain does not comprehend what I'm supposed to do for some reason.
Yeah. Machine.
Quilt on the machine.
I've seen it done both ways, quilting on a machine and quilting on let's see what Blue said.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. Like my mom's quilted on a machine too. I mean, but for the most part, she does by hand. And if she can't do the quilt by hand, she'll find somebody that will help quilt it for her.
I think it's
amazing.
It's
not, Rona. It's not, because my mom, she broke down and bought a long arm. And she's like, I can't even figure this thing out. And I'm like, send it up.
I think it's amazing with a machine and without a machine. But that's because I can't do it myself. So that's why
that's beautiful.
Amazing to be able to do that. I'm kind of like a little bit adult ADD. If I can't figure something out within a few times, then I usually just move on to something else. That's just how my brain works.
I started getting into quilting. I have all the fabric. I have everything. And I just haven't done it. I don't know why.
Embroidery machine. I can do like paper crafts and like putting things together where you use, the hot glue and stuff like that. Like making a wreath or making a pretty card by hand. Things like that I can do that involve glue, stuff like that. And painting things. And we're not talking about artists.
You painted those markers. You did such a cute job painting. I'm not a painter. It would have come out sloppy.
Yeah. And then after, I even put a clear coat on them. So hopefully they'll at least last for this whole season and not smudge. So we'll see because I painted them with a clear coat afterward. So hopefully they'll stay.
Here shortly, I'm going to head down into town and treat myself to a pedicure. And it just so happens that Dollar Tree is next door. So I want to go see what fun spring stuff and see if they have any of those pinwheels for my garden. If they do, I think I'm going to snatch some up to put out there.
Yeah, my two that I got last year are already broke down. They will last you through a year, but we got some serious wind around here. One just broke down, and the second one's breaking down now. The things. I wonder if I took the wheel inside and like put glue on each point where the fan goes in, if it would stay better. I wonder.
I'm not sure. I'm gonna try and figure. I was thinking of zip tying mine to the T-post that I have, but I was in my garden yesterday. And how I wanted to share the video of what I did, and I'm like, nope, they have to wait.
Well, I'm going to give you an insight of a little project I'm going to work on for the fall. So every year, my other channel, Gail's Southern Living, does a collaboration called the Fall Fest giveaway. So Heather's idea was to ask people in the video to show their scarecrow, whether it be handmade or store-bought. So I started getting the pieces together to get ready for it.
Gotcha.
To make my scarecrow for outside. Now, as soon as I get it together, I'll go ahead and show it, but I'll also feature it better in my Fall Fest collaboration video. I'll probably do the announcement video outside in front of it and everything. So if you're planning on doing Fall Fest 24, be looking for your scarecrow, because it's not going to be like you have to do it. It's just going to be like a request.
Well, isn't it you who's hosting the weird container?
Yes.
I found one.
You found one.
Yay. I found one. Yes. Sorry about that, Anne.
Panic. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I will admit that when strangers touch my hand, because I worked in the medical field for a while and I realized how many things you could pick up with your hands. So I got to where now, especially when we're out doing the ministry, we have hand sanitizer in the car and we'll kind of
absolutely
afterward. I think that's pretty normal though. But yeah, I started to be just a little bit of a germaphobe after working in the medical field.
Did you?
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit?
Yeah, I worked in the medical field for about 7 to 9 years. I did medical coding and billing. I was also a receptionist and did medical records. So I did several things in that field.
Awesome.
When I know you, it's fine. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm like that too. I like want to wash my hands, but it's not my husband or my children or my mom. It's like, yeah, I'm like that too, Anne. I have a little of that too.
I see.
Mine is about germs. I'll admit mine is about germs.
Yeah, but there's sometimes sometimes I won't say where or anything, but there was a particular person who I would sit next to it from time to time. And I just felt like, you don't need to touch me. Like, that's not okay. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah. Now I don't, I avoid, like, I don't, when I encounter that person, I avoid sitting by them or anything like that.
Yeah.
It gave me just a real, like, creepy feeling. Does that make sense?
The only time it doesn't bother me usually at church, people are constantly, hugging you and shaking your hand and stuff, and it doesn't really usually bother me at church, but other places kind of it does.
Yeah,
I don't want to be forced to have to put my hand out, because it's like, especially in the flu season, because I do not like to throw up. And I will avoid the flu. If I know you've been sick, I'll be like, you got to stay home. I hate to throw up.
Like you. Oh, speaking of that, I can remember because I am a former educator, right? And we were in our testing period, and I was supervising the testing, and they could not leave like the classroom. It was, well, this one kid, he's like, I don't feel well. And I said, you don't look well. He was turning literally green. I'm like, take the trash can, and I'm calling the office, telling them you're on your way up. He was so bad. And that's like, and I've experienced that in the school from young kids up to high schoolers. It's just,
I dealt with special needs children in the second and third grade range. And, I had hand sanitizer in my bag, and I was constantly washing my hands, and because they don't wash their hands.
Well, that was part of our thing. We would teach them.
They don't do anything. And even when you're washing your hands, if you're washing it with cold water and no soap, you're really not helping the cause.
We would, when they would come in from being outside playing, they would come in, and they knew they had to wait and stand at the sink, and everybody would get up on the stool. We'd have the water on, and we're like, this is the way we wash our hands to get them nice and clean. And they had to do that before they could sit down and eat. So, yeah.
Good.
Anyhow.
I did 3 years with special needs children. That was my last job I had.
That was my last job that I had too, and I did it for 20 years.
Were you a para?
Yes, and I also taught at times too. There were times I would take over the classroom and teach. I did everything a teacher would do. I just wasn't paid the way a teacher was. I attended IEPs. I did all of that.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
So,
yeah, people don't know that, but teachers have a helper, a paraprofessional who deals with the special needs children and is the advocate for those special needs children to make sure that they get all their IEPs, all their accommodations,
right.
to be the voice between the student and the teacher. Had confrontations trying to get my accommodations properly for my children. And yeah, so, and I wasn't afraid to speak when in behalf of those children. And
Right.
also took notes, and I would also put it in the notes. So teacher, if you're going to mess with me and tell me they can't have this or that when I can clearly read it in their IEP thing, then
yeah. And I have a very
you in my notes.
I have a very specific training that I received when I first started working with autistic children. I was trained through a center out in California who's very well known, called CARD, and it was called Discrete Trials. And so when I left the elementary field and went into the high school field, I started in autism. Then I went to ED. No. What was the other one? All I can tell you is by the time I said, look, I need to go over to the emotional disability classroom, I would rather have conversations with these young kids and figure out what was going on to help them in any way that I could, because I was done with, and I love them dearly. Special needs, anybody with special needs always has a special place in my heart. And I will always advocate for special needs. It doesn't matter, but after 20 some years of doing it, I needed to get away from it.
I only did it for 3 years.
Oh no, not me. And I loved it. I wouldn't have stayed with it if I didn't like it. I mean, I'm not that type of person, but
I actually got injured in the field and had to stay home.
You can.
Before that happened though, before all that, I did great with the kids. I love the kids. I miss the kids so much.
Right.
But I was being bullied by teachers in school, at the elementary school.
Yeah.
The principal and some of the teachers.
I got along with every teacher except for one. And the mom, my one student that I was one-on-one with, I did not like the way the teacher was talking to me. And she went and complained to the principal, and we were both, myself and the student, was removed from the classroom and put into another classroom. And then the teacher's classroom that I got put into, that teacher was emailing other people about me. And I'm like, I did nothing to you, lady. You just felt threatened by me. But yeah, I am very thankful that I had all those years. It taught me a lot about human beings and about caring and being just loving on them, and being treated with respect and dignity. And that's the bottom line. So
see, Christy bets her comments kind of funny. Yeah.
I'm sure he does. Just
there are several people they would rather look at the wall than at your face. And the reason autistic people don't look at your face the way I was taught is that they're seeing like billions of pixelations in your face instead of just seeing your face as a whole. So it's hard for them to look at you. So they're usually looking at something else. So but every autistic person is different. They're all unique. I learned a lot about autistic children, went to a lot of classes and learned about Down syndrome and all kinds of stuff. So
I did some searching. I tried to keep up with one of my students. When I got him, he was like 3 or 4 years old. He was nonverbal. Um, he couldn't perform simple commands of like sit down or come here. He would go into tantrums. And this was my first student that I ever worked with. Well, when I left and moved away from that area, I had to leave him. We were together for several years. And my sister still worked in the same school district. And well, by the time I left, he was in a regular classroom setting. He was more verbal, although he didn't speak all the time. But by the time he left that school, he had become the president of his class, and he has gone on to do really great things. And I know it's because early intervention took place for him. And that's the key. That's just a key, early intervention. And like you said, and there are some, you know what, that I worked with that will never sadly be able to leave home and to leave a typical life. They'll be with mom and dad or a caregiver because they can't function. Do you know what I mean?
yeah, they can't deal with certain social situations. I do not have autism or anything like that, but I do get a little bit of anxiety about, like, I can talk to you guys because I can't see you all in front of me. But if I was standing in front of however many people are in here, 9 or 10 people, if I was standing in front of 9 or 10 people, I would not be able to speak so freely. I'm very shy, and I get a little awkward in certain situations. Like going to these meetups, I want to go and I want to meet people and hang out, but I don't always do very well at that. So I noticed at Pinecone Fest last year, it was harder because I didn't have a friend with me. My husband was with me, but he didn't know all those people. Those people were strangers to him too. So I decided this year to go to the meetup where Simply Jan is going to be, because I can just kind of go hang out with her if things get a little awkward. So
hey, good morning. Yeah.
Jesus.
I've never had that problem of talking in front of people or being in front of people. It's difficult at first. That I would say. I think the more that you do it, I mean, quite honestly, Gail, I would have never thought that you were shy or anything like that.
Yeah.
You don't appear to be.
Some people make me very comfortable.
Nervous?
Other people make me very nervous or intimidate me as well. You're not a person that it intimidates me.
I would hope not.
Some people, you could tell though, if you watch my interviews, I can speak more freely with some people and a little bit differently with others. If you learn my personality, you can see when I'm a little bit more nervous. And I do well usually with my own interviews. But if you call me for an interview on your channel, I might be a little bit nervous for some reason, especially if you're a big channel. Like I went on Garden State Gardener and there was going to be, 60, 70 people in the chat. Yeah, that makes me nervous because that's a lot of people. I'll still say yes and I'll still do it, but I'm not used to his crowd. I don't know all of his people. So it makes me a little bit more nervous. But
Gotcha.
I can't talk in a crowd. My pastor handed me the microphone to talk about the ministry, and I was like, oh no, I have to talk. Oh no. But anyway, I said some stuff and I stuttered like just a little bit because
that's okay. But the more that you do it, the easier it does get. Like you're more comfortable, you know.
Don't make me nervous. It's adults.
When I host my event, it's every other year, and I'm in charge of it. So I have to be up there, and everybody's like 50 plus people are just like staring at you, right? But it's my responsibility to welcome everybody, making sure they're having a good time, and I have to do that like throughout the 3-day event that I do. So yeah. Each day gets a little bit bigger. Better.
My sister-in-law says, in person, I'm more shy than I am on camera. And that is true.
Yeah.
It's very true.
That's
And it just
interesting.
depends on the crowd I'm in. If I'm in a crowd where I'm comfortable, I actually am kind of a comic. I can be funny. And I know that doesn't always come across here. But, in my own crowd, in our YouTube group that we have, we make jokes and stuff like that. And those are people that I'm comfortable with. But
Yeah.
other people, totally make me nervous.
Look at Joe's comment from Grow Big TV.
Oh no. I can't see it.
Amen.
What do they say?
And yeah, I
think I'm better. I feel like I'm better. I feel like YouTube has made me better with public speaking than I ever was before.
Good.
I still struggle.
I don't recall like being shy around, like in front of like an audience or something. And maybe because when I was younger, my mom had me in tap and ballet, and then we did performances, and I would, okay, I'll admit it, I was a cheerleader. Okay, don't hold that against me.
Yeah, sometimes people take me as very serious or very aloof, but really, when you get to know me, I'm funny, I'm laid back, I joke around. I get either overly funny or overly serious. I'm one extreme or the other. There's no middle.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'll make jokes just to make things. I did great on his live. Well, yeah. Somebody sent me an email after the live and said I had a weird look on my face. And I was already very conscious about trying not to have a weird look on my face. Like I was trying to listen with a smile, just like I was trying to look happy and good. I mean, I was conscious of the look on my face the whole time. And the person still emails me and tells me I have a weird look on my face. And I'm like, I'm fine. I'm just listening. Not everybody has to speak every moment. Sometimes you need to listen to other people. And maybe that's what it was. They thought I should be over there, blah, 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 blah. And I don't have to spread me all over the place. I can listen to other people talk.
Well, was it Monday? Monday when we were doing a live with Jan? No, was it Jamie?
Yes, Jamie.
And I don't know what I did, but I was so tired from the time change people and that. I think I zoned out for a little bit because I was just like this plain look on my face. And sometimes people think I'm angry about it. And she's like, I was trying to get you to smile. I was like, oh, I'm sorry. I was zoned out, right?
See what Joe wrote?
No, what did he write? Bring it. Oh, there it is. Oh. Oh, that is so funny.
Yeah. Well, so my sister-in-law, Freehandly Maid, found Garden State Gardener, his other channel, before me. So I found him after sister-in-law. She found him first, and I found him after. Okay. And then from Garden State Gardener, I found the Vineyard Chicks and lots of other people too. I found a lot of channels on Garden
Christy, State. Are you on? You could be on my channel if there's nobody there, but you could be over on my channel, to be honest with you, if there's nobody else there. And that gives me the watch time too.
Yeah. Nisi was talking about this really cool channel and how there was a bunch of people there and the man was giving stuff away, and that was Joe with Garden State Gardener, and that was and then I just started going in there every week and
how many people are on the chat, Gail?
This one, 18.
18?
Mm-hmm.
Any of them over on my channel? Do you know?
I
don't know if you can see that.
There would be 6.
Oh, thanks. Who's over there? Thank you.
It was more earlier because
it's okay.
I can tell by looking at my phone. It says 12, so 12 minus 18, that's 6. But earlier you had 9.
Thanks, Joe.
What?
Joe.
Yeah. Anyway, earlier it was different.
I was just wondering.
Fluctuating.
Well, I am going to tell you, I don't know. So Gail, your list is on Amazon. Do you have a list anywhere else of things that you want for the ministry?
I mean, anything really that you think would be useful.
Okay.
For the homeless people, pretty much toiletries or like bulk amounts of, trail mix or things like that. Anything like that.
Can you put up your PayPal again so we can, if somebody wants to donate, we can.
Hello, Indiana Backyard Gardener. How are you?
Hey, Indiana Backyard Gardener. I was going to go over and see you today.
So
you left me the sweetest comment.
Yes, she's been my friend for a while, and she had the most awesome seed swap last year.
Okay.
And I actually have my package ready to go to her, almost. So I'm working on that now, and I'm trying to put a PayPal link in here. Let's see. Brother said I had typed something wrong, so I'm trying to make sure I do it right this time.
Oh, you had 2 L's.
Well, I left the S off, is what he said.
You're fine, Garden State. So-and-so.
Oh. So Adrian hasn't been in here.
She put it down there.
Adrian hasn't been in here since I started the ministry. So I'll tell Adrian the basic story of it all. In October 2022, my sister got hit by a car and passed away. We found out she had been homeless for a few years. I had not spoken to her for about 5 years. And my mom and I started Broken Hearts Ministry in December of 2022. So that is where the Broken Hearts Ministry thing started, was from that.
Thank you, Kathleen, for putting it up there.
And we go out once a month and we hand out non-perishable food and toiletries. We also do cold drinks, occasionally sack lunches, blankets, coats, t-shirts, all kinds of stuff. Oh, you were around when my sister passed, so I didn't know. She does gardening, but she had taken a little bit of a break there for a while. And so I didn't know she was. Yep. So we have gone every single month. And since then, I think we might have missed 1 month. It was sometime in the heart of the summer. And we had went out, and my mom had a little bit of a hard time the time before that. So we took 1 month off because it was really, really hot in the summer. I think we might have took July off this last summer because it was so hot.
Right.
So my mom is actually going to go out this weekend, not with me. She's going to go out with Charlotte, our friend.
Wonderful.
Who is one of our volunteers. So I'll get a report from them about how they did.
That's wonderful.
And I would probably go more if I was there.
Yeah.
But we're making a plan to go the second week of April.
Okay.
Hand out stuff again. And this time we're going to do the street people. And then in May, we're going to try to do the Salvation Army, where it's just a ton of people. And we might try to see if Charlotte will go with us.
Yeah.
Because we need the extra hands.
Yeah, like our shelters out here, they have to be out by a certain time. Mm-hmm. And they walk around or wherever they can get.
They have their breakfast, and then they have to have their lunch on their own.
Yeah. Yeah. And then have to be back. If they want to get back in, they have to be back by a certain time to get a bed. Mm-hmm. I mean, believe it, it's very sad around here. I just don't like, I remember when we first moved here, and I worked with a girl who was living in the shelter. She was a young girl she was probably 19, and she had a lot of other issues to begin with, but it was very sad to know that she was homeless and didn't have anywhere to go, so a lot of times I would bring her food because I just could never handle anybody. I'm about feeding people, and I never like to see anybody go hungry. Like, do you know what I mean?
Can one of the moderators put up the link for Life in the Piedmont Homestead for me?
Oh, Thank you. So yeah, I always envisioned doing similar things like you're doing, or having like there's a place down here by me that's a ministry called Tree of Life, and they minister and they have groups of people come in once a week. I think it's once a week, yeah, that cooks dinners, and anybody from the community that needs food or something can come in, and then they deliver. But here you have to be able to be underneath their care. And then once a month they deliver food to families and then minister to those families in their homes and stuff like that. But I always thought we need to have more outreach where people can come, or set up somewhere with like food so people can just come and get a sandwich or a hot drink or a cold drink, or thanks, Joe. You know what I mean? I never like to see people go hungry. It bothers me. It bothers me immensely.
You have a house full of food and clothes and appliances and dishes and all kinds of stuff, medicine and a place to take a shower. I mean, we take for granted that shower any day that we want to. We take for granted that shower. And I watched videos on YouTube where these people had not taken a shower more than 2 or 3
Right.
times in a year.
Well,
Can
they
you
have the portable ones now, like in California. I don't know if you've seen
imagine?
that.
But not in Abilene.
No, but they do. They have portable showers that they can go in and get showered and bathed, because the homeless rate is so bad.
If I was a millionaire, my ministry would be
Thank you.
to buy one of those portable showers
Uh-huh.
and run it once or twice a week. And they know to come a specific place,
Yeah.
specific time. And there would be like 2 stalls, and they would come in and be able to take their shower,
Yeah.
change their clothes, and put on their deodorant. And, and we would have those toiletry bags we make up. We would hand those to them as they walk in. And then when they leave, they take what's left with them. And,
Right.
um, and they would be able to take a shower and feel clean and have clean hair and clean body. And you can stay healthier when you're clean.
You are.
Staying dirty all the time is not helping their health any
Yeah.
at all.
I did not know it's already 12:30 my time here. That was fast.
Yes, yes,
So,
yes. Fast, an hour. Wow. That's cool.
her live is on her Broken Hearts Ministry channel. Indiana.
Yeah, when I put live now, I meant live now over here. But yeah, I'm live. I'm just live here, not
Okay.
there.
Hey, I think I'm gonna say goodbye to all our friends. I'm gonna go get my pedicure. I'm so excited to go, like, totally relax.
Yeah, it's very exciting. I was waiting for Indiana Backyard Gardener to pop up in the chat so I could make her a moderator, but
She's in there right now.
yeah, I know, but I can't see it on my phone. I have to be able to see it on my phone to make her a moderator.
Oh, she just made the last comment, if that helps you at all.
Yeah, it's not that. My phone's not updating fast enough. It might be the weather.
Okay. Thank you, everybody. I'm going to go to the Dollar Tree and see what I can find. And Gail, your PayPal was Gail's Southern GSL at PayPal, right?
Uh-huh.
All right. Have a blessed weekend, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Bye, Tina.
Bye. Thanks, Gail. Thank you. I never know how to click out of here, Gail.
I'll
I got it.
I was going to say, I can kick you out if you want.
I got it.
Okay. Thank you for coming up with me, Tina. I appreciate it. Yeah, I was waiting for Indiana Backyard Gardener to show up in here, but for some reason I can't see her comments on my phone. That is so weird. Can y'all see her comments? Wonder why I can't see her comments. That is so strange. My phone is showing everyone's comments. Awesome. All righty. Well, It looks like it's going to rain today. I don't know if it will or not. Thank you for going over and visiting Tina as well so she can get some watch time for her channel. Give it a minute. I had to sub. Oh, is that what it is? Is that what it is, Adrian? Hello, Lynn the Okie. Did I say hi to you? Thank you for coming in. I appreciate you. How you doing? Every time I watch one of her videos, it seems like she's getting a new Bible. She must have a lot of Bibles. I have quite a few Bibles myself, probably 5 at least. I have my very first original Bible, which is red. I have 2 purple Bibles and one that's gray and pink. So that's at least 4 right there. Oh, yeah, I had it on subscriber only mode so I wouldn't get trolls. Interesting. Well, I have to go in and check my settings and make sure something weird hasn't been clicked on Indiana Backyard Gardener by accident. Because I see her on StreamYard, but not on my phone. So I can't comment yet. Oh, yeah. Maybe it won't let me yet. Okay, so maybe that's it. Okay, well, at least there's a reason. Well, maybe I'll try to get you as a moderator by next time. But anyway, I'm getting my seed swap ready. And I did put in a couple of channel stickers. Some new channel stickers. You can do whatever you want with them. And yeah, sorry, my allergies. So this is going to be my regular time. For this channel, this is going to be my regular time. Sometimes I'll be by myself. Sometimes I'll have friends with me. It'll be totally different. If you need to get watch time for one of your YouTube channels, if you'll send me an email, thank you, Kathleen. If you'll send me an email, I'll try to send you a link so you can come up here and join me sometime. Or if you have a ministry that you do and you want to come talk about that, send me an email and we'll talk about it. You're off on Fridays? Very cool. So I was going to ask you, Adrian, if you have some availability, if you could come up with me either on this channel or on the other channel and just come up and have a chat, catch up. That would be cool. I'm glad to see you in here. I was super excited to see your seed swap video and also really excited to see your garden tour video. I'm going to have to go back and rewatch it because it came on right as I was watching Kathleen's live, right about to come on this live. So I need to go back and rewatch it so I can see everything a little bit better. But I think I watched it as Gail Southern Living, so I'll go watch it from Broken Hearts Ministry. So you'll get another view out of it. But yeah, I wanted to see more details, but I was in the middle of trying to set everything up on StreamYard, so I didn't quite. So I paid for the StreamYard. I have the Go Live with me where you can go live and that person that comes up with you is also getting watch time. So if that's something you're interested in, let me know and you can go live with me at the same time and be gaining watch hours for your channel too. On my second channel right before this one. Oh, okay. Are you talking about My Alabama Farm Life is going before Literature and More with Kathleen? Oh, she's going. Okay, yeah, that's what she's saying. Okay, so Literature and More with Kathleen is going live at 9:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. Then I'm sorry, let me get that right. 9:30 a.m. Central Standard Time, Literature and More with Kathleen is going live for 1 hour. Then right after that, 10:30 a.m., Broken Hearts Ministry is going live right after Kathleen with Literature and More with Kathleen. So we have a little bit of a kind of like boom, boom. So if you're interested in getting in that lineup and doing maybe like the 11:30 after me, let us know. Maybe we can try to get you set up on that. See your last comment. Let me see. I buy them and give them away. Huh. What do you buy and give away? Oh, the Bibles? Oh, that's cool. Yeah. I tried to find some of those miniature New Testament Bibles on Amazon, but the only thing they had were the little tiny ones, like little keychains. They didn't have the small New Testament Bibles like the kind they give kids in Sunday school. They didn't have any of those. Yeah, Fridays. I have a live on Gail's Southern Living where I do the interviews. I'm still doing the interviews, Adrian. I do those on Tuesdays at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. And I'm trying to do my interview right before Grow Big TV. So you can go straight from Gail's Southern Living to Grow Big TV. So that way we're not conflicting each other's time there. Now, I did have to conflict with Joe last night, and I'm sorry, Joe. That's the time my mother could go live to do the fundraiser, so we went ahead and did that. Yeah. Hello, Nona Grace. Thank you for coming in. How you doing, Miss Mary? Oh, yeah. Stack of Bibles. Yeah. Yeah, we could use some. We could use some. When I very first started going to this church, they donated a whole bunch. It was a whole stack of little white Bibles and a whole stack of little black Bibles. It was awesome, but we've used all those already. I still have some regular size Bibles, but I need some more of those miniature Bibles. Yeah. I do have regular size Bibles, but I want some of those mini Bibles to put in the bags for the homeless, especially when we're doing the smaller bags. Yeah, I don't know how you make it to any of our lives, and because your time changes so different. I have a friend in Australia too, and I don't know how she keeps track of the time because I did have that world clock on my phone, and that would help me to know what time it is over there. Yes, I'm live on this channel. (4:30 a.m.) Do you wake up at 4:30 a.m. every day? And that is so early. Oh my goodness. That is really early. Yeah, I need to set the world clock back on my phone so I know what time it is. It's Ariella Viking Venture and Victuals. That is my friend from Australia. So I had it on there before on my old phone, and I never have put it on this phone. So I need to do that. I remember when a few lives are, but sometimes I just get lucky. Insomniac. Oh no, that's not good. Grow Big TV last night. Yes. Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I did a live with my mom for about 45 minutes, and then I went on into Grow Big TV and listened to his guests that he had. He had somebody on that does worm farming. AJ's Green Topics. Oh, yeah, no, that's fine. I think I just commented on one of your videos this morning from this channel, so I thought I better go comment from this channel so Adrian knows I have a different channel now. I just have these two channels. The Coupon Gale channel still exists. I just don't use it. I have it as a backup in case, God forbid, YouTube ever takes my channel down. I can change the name of that channel and go henceforth. So that's why I have it. It's a backup. It's my plan B. Yeah. We actually have a little schedule for some people in our group. We have a little schedule for that. So I'm looking forward to be able to look at that and know when some of my friends are going live. Yeah. A lot of people in Missouri were having trouble. It looks like it's going to rain today, but we had thunder. I don't know if it actually rained because I was in here and I wasn't really paying attention. I didn't hear anything. If it did rain, it rained lightly. I think I'm going to go ahead and end for today. I'm going to go see if I can get anything done in the garden before it does actually start to rain. So I'm going to go do that. And I appreciate all of you guys who came in today. You are all much appreciated. And thank you so much. You should put them on your Amazon wish list. If I could find Sir Dank for Jesus, if I could find the right Bible, I would put them on the Amazon wish list. But I have not been able to find the small New Testament Bibles on Amazon yet. So I couldn't put them on there because I couldn't find the right thing. So, but I think I'll just go grab some at Dollar Tree for $1.25 each and call it a day. All right. You guys have a great day. Thank you for coming in. Bye, everybody.